Dreams aren't magic tricks, they are blueprints. This is the Thoughts Become Things podcast, where we open the doors to that blueprint and desire to break poverty. Join Moses B. Arthur, the dreamer, the doer, the guy who builds systems from scratch. We are talking business, personal growth, spirituality, the whole shebang. Forget stuffy suits and boring lectures. This is about real talk, actionable steps, and a healthy dose of love and light to fuel your fire. Remember, it shall never be well with poverty, so get ready to turn those what ifs into oh yeah. Let's go.
There are two gifts that God gave to man, and man alone. Gifts not given to birds of the sky, beasts of the field, nor the fish of the sea. Gifts so powerful that if used rightly, they make a mortal man differ in nothing from the immortal. This gift that I'm speaking about, if it's so powerful that if it is used rightly, it would make any mortal man differ in nothing from the immortal. And one may wonder, what are these two gifts? These two gifts are the gifts of the mind and speech, two sides of one eternal currency, and it is what I call the coin of heaven. On one side is the mind. And what is the mind? The divine faculty of thought, imagination, intelligence, and reason. So when we say your mind is the divine faculty of thoughts, imaginations, intelligence, and reason. Then the other side of the coin is speech, the supernatural power to translate thoughts into sound and shape reality with words. On the other side, again, like I said, is speech. What is speech? The supernatural power to translate thoughts into sound and shape reality with words. Now, if you think about it very well, these are two things that God gave man and man alone. No other thing did God create that has this, and that's how come I call it the coin of heaven. It is actually one eternal currency, but it has two sides. Animals have instincts, but only men or only a man can dream the invincible and declare the impossible. Only man can take abstract thoughts and craft it into meaning. Only man can speak himself into a future he hasn't seen yet. And that is how God made it. We call the things that be not as though they were. And so Genesis chapter 1 says that we are made in the image and likeness of God. And the first thing we see God doing in scripture is not building with his hands, it is creating with words. The Bible said, and God said, let there be light. Now that is speech, that's articulation, that's divine intelligence turned into manifestation. And so we often say that man is made from dust. But don't forget that before the dust, man was an idea in the mind of God, and then a word on the lips of God. And so the mind and the mouth are heaven's creative blueprint. And the day you understand this as a young person, your life will change for good. Because what you think in your mind, if it's positive, declare with your mouth and you see it in manifestation. Now imagine this, that if we are made in his image, then it means that our thoughts carry echoes of divinity and our words carry the power of creation. This is why the enemy doesn't attack our hands first when he wants to deal with us. He attacks our minds and our mouth, so that when your mind is corrupted, your mouth will speak what is in the corruption of your mind. Because the truth is that if the enemy can corrupt your thoughts, then he will cripple your speech. And at that point in time, he will actually confiscate your future. So the mind is the seat of imagination, intention, and clarity. And the mouth then becomes the vehicle for confession, construction, and dominion. The mind is the seat of imagination, intention, and clarity. The mouth is the vehicle of confession, construction, and dominion. And when both operate in alignment with God, people, I can guarantee you, they become a currency that makes you unstoppable. It becomes that currency that makes you unstoppable. If you've been following my body of work over a period of time, one of the things you'd always hear me say is that your words shape your world, your thoughts shape your threshold, and your inner language creates your outer landscape. And how do I know? In Proverbs 23 verse 7, it says that as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. That's the mind. Then he comes to Proverbs 18 verse 21 and he says, death and life are in the power of the tongue, and those who love it shall eat its fruit. That's speech. So we are seeing two different phrases, two sides, but it's one coin. And that coin is not of man, it is of God. We trade with this particular coin in heaven's economy, the coin of heaven. And that's how come I call it the coin of heaven, because in God's economy, you move things and you trade things with your mouth and with your mind. So we trade with this coin in God's economy. We build in earth's terrain with this very same coin, and we fight with it in the spirit realm. Every breakthrough you desire will first begin as a seed in your thought life. And that is how come I'm very passionate about young people curating the kind of things that they think about. Every breakthrough you desire will first begin as a seed in your thought life. Then it must be cultivated by the confessions of your lips. If you think wrong, you will speak wrong. If you speak wrong, you will live wrong. And this is why Romans chapter 12 verse 2 says that, be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Because by a man's words, he will be justified, and by his words, he will be condemned. And so you need to understand this very, very well if you want to dominate in this life. The coin of heaven, mind and speech. We trade with it in heaven's economy. We build with it in earth's terrain. And we fight with it in the realm of the spirit. It's very, very important. I need you to understand this. I need you to grasp this for the sake of your glorious destiny. Because your mind is your steering wheel. Your mouth is your ignition key. So your mind and speech, when used rightly, will make you an immortal impact. When used wrongly, it will keep you bound in mediocrity. And if you have actually thought about it very well, the mystery about the mind, the mystery about our speech, is that these two faculties, they don't die when a man dies. They echo. These two faculties, they don't die when a man dies. They echo. Martin Luther King is gone. We are seeing the echoes of his mind and his speech in 2025. Ubon King is gone. We are seeing the echoes of his mind and speech in 2025. Michael Jackson is gone. We are seeing the echoes of his mind and his speech many years. Benson Idahosa is gone, but we are seeing the echo of his mind and his speech many years. Why? Because your thoughts, if harnessed well, become blueprints for generations. Your words, if spoken in alignment, become seeds that live long after you are gone. I take it again. Your thoughts, if harnessed well, become blueprints for your generations. And your words, if spoken in alignment, become seeds that live long after you are gone. Think about it this way. Jesus, the Son of God, he never wrote a book. He never traveled far. But you see, some of his words have outlived empires and reshaped history. Some of his words like, it is finished. Some of his words like, I am the way. Some of his words like, peace be still. They have outlived empires and reshaped history. Why? Because he knew how to trade with the coin of heaven. He thought the thoughts of God. He spoke the will of God. And the results have been eternal impact since he ascended into heaven. So I ask you today, how are you managing the mind God gave you? What thoughts are you entertaining? What future are these thoughts building? What words are you releasing? Are they filled with life or they are soaked in fear? Because every day you wake up, you hold in your being the currency of the divine. You may not have money today if you're listening to me. You may not have connections today, but you have your mind and you have your speech. You have heaven's most potent tools. You can rebuild your life from the ruins. You can speak your way out of depression. You can frame your tomorrow with the creativity of today. You can call things that be not as though they were, because the coin of heaven is not just a gift. The coin of heaven is a responsibility. The coin of heaven is a mandate. The coin of heaven is a mirror of the God who breathed into clay and made kings. And so today, if you're listening in on the conversation from a very hearty place, from a very deep place inside of me, and from a very emotional standpoint, I'm so passionate about this. I want to urge you, think intentionally, speak prophetically, and live deliberately. Because if you use your mind and your speech, which is the coin of heaven, rightly, and you trade it very well in this thing called life, you will differ in nothing from the men that walk the earth and have been immortalized in the sands of history and in the course of destiny. My name is Moses Biata. I want you to go back, re-listen to this all over again. Consume it as much as possible. It is a revelation to you. Assimilate it as much as possible and bring yourself into the place of elevation where you are able to trade the coin of heaven, which is the gift of your speech and the gift of your mind, so that you can build in this earth's terrain, so that most importantly, you wage war in the spirit and you will win. I hope this one blessed you. Have a blessed day. Love and light. Be safe.
That is another episode down. Remember, dreams aren't wishes. They are seeds you have to plant, water, and nurture. Take today's golden nuggets of wisdom, sprinkle them with your hustle, and watch your garden of greatness bloom. Share your thoughts. Connect with MBA on all social media at The Moses Author. Don't forget to dream, dare, do, and remember, love and light are your superpowers. Until next time, go out there and turn those thoughts into things.